I'm Amy.
I'm Delia.
And I'm Wendell. And welcome to
Yes, but
Why
Podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Ariel just started getting through our guest room that turned into a
storage closet.
We called it not the storage room.
Because that'll make me feel better.
Yeah, I can't believe that worked.
It does. I can trick myself very easily.
Put a little
I feel
desk by the
myself
wall
so fast.
and write 3 sketches there, and it's your office.
Yeah.
You're so talented. Like improv, sketch, tricking yourself.
I know. I'm
Lying
a
to
triple
yourself.
threat. Yeah. I really am.
Improv, sketch, cognitive dissonance. You can do it all.
Is that officially what that's called? God, you're so fucking smart.
I
God damn you.
I left it up. We're not recording it, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No, we sneak.
Yeah,
you
sorry.
sneak. Oh, you fucking sneak.
It's good. That candid
It
conversation.
is.
is good.
I was like, it is.
Hey, see, I'm funny. Even if I don't think I'm on the air.
Yeah, no, you've been killing
I would
it.
concur.
It was
That
a
being
good
said,
idea.
I was just about to say we can go ahead and officially start if you want to put headphones on or
Yes.
not or whatever.
Oh, those headphones sound like I'm in a cave.
Well,
Okay, so you're not into it?
I might, if I get really stoned, I might, to see how fun it is. But
Yeah, you
right
can do that.
now,
Alright, great. Whatever you'd like.
I know it's crazy.
You're totally fine.
I tried the headphones for a while when you're out, and I just listening to it and not really listening to the words people were saying.
Yeah, it's harder too when the band right there, because that band's the one that's closest to us. If the other ones in the other hallways are playing, you can't quite. It's not quite as distracting. But yeah, it can be tough.
Yeah, you can hear them like
I like just talking to
crystal
y'all.
clear.
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool. We like talking to you too.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, you're all right.
So you were saying about cognitive dissonance.
Oh, so I forget. I don't usually look up words when I hear them and don't know them. But somebody I liked was saying something about cognitive dissonance. I was like, oh, I want to know what they're talking about. And it was a girl I had a crush on. No, somebody I liked, some podcaster or somebody was talking about it. I looked it up, and
They had a
it's
crush
kind
on.
of struggling, kind of stuff I struggle with sometimes, like thinking you're one thing. Actually, usually I assume that I'm not whatever great goal I've got set for myself or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But just kind of looking yourself in the mirror and kind of being honest about, are you actually doing what you think you're doing, saying you're doing, wanting to do? Are you tricking yourself into thinking you're following your goals, but you're really just doing this or whatever? So I kind of always leave that in my internet tabs, the definition for it, and in my phone, like the Safari tabs or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then I don't really look at it, but every time I flip through my phone, it's kind of a little reminder, like, hey, check yourself, you shit. Check yourself. You're not so anything. Yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry to totally wreck this as soon as it's revealed we're recording.
You knew you were recording.
No. No, I was actually thinking about how one of my, cognitive dissonance, meaning, what you think and what is are different. And it's so weird because mine is often the opposite way. In my head, I aggrandize myself in a much bigger way. I make a much bigger deal. It's almost worse because I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're clearly top notch.
Yeah.
And this is the bullshit you're pulling? Versus I'm a regular human being who doesn't think I did this, that's amazing of myself.
I think you need to be able to do both, though, because there's times when you need to be able to say, you need to be able to thump your chest and go, when I tell myself, I go, I'm Rob Gagnon. And I'll tell myself that, I joke around that a lot of times, but, once a month, something will come up, and I won't be so sure of myself, and I'll just be like, I'm Rob Gagnon. And I act like it's anything just for a minute. And then the rest of the time I say it, I'm just joking. But every now and again I'll just go, oh, Rob Gagnon. And I can do this.
But it's true.
That's what I'm questioning
Rob Gagnon, damn it.
Yeah. Well, especially in this, I don't know, career path or whatever in comedy. I mean, if you don't try to be confident about yourself at some point, you're going to break down.
Yeah.
So hard.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're the only one in your corner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true, and you have to, because no one else is laughing. You're like, well, I thought it was funny, but boo.
I was gonna say, like, I do that when I get dressed in the morning because
Yeah.
I'll put something on and I'm like, I look like a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, just like, and then I'll repeat my name, and then I'll just like end up wearing like a t-shirt and a skirt and boots. And I'm like, tight. And then I feel fine.
Yeah.
But also like the cheerleader thing. I remember I was talking to lovely Brett Revort, and we were talking about a few things and how like sometimes certain parts of your brain need to act as your cheerleader because like other parts of your brain are so down on yourself, and it's like using that as a motivator to no, like you can't be a shit today, like get the fuck out of bed,
Yeah.
like go to the restroom, just get up and go to the restroom, and then you'll be like just taking it like one
Are
step
you
at
having
a
problems
time.
going to the restroom?
I mean, I
The toilet is not a monster that you can poop.
I had like I had been like in such a hole at one point that I would just like lay in bed and just like
Oh,
I'm
no.
I'm not getting up, like I don't care, and I would have to pee and like I don't give a shit, and like no, like
One time I
get the
peed
fuck
in a
up.
cup because of that. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pee in this cup.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving this room. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
like just
I'm
get
a
the
crazy person.
yep, like
Yep.
get the fuck up, and like
Yeah.
ugh, fine.
Yeah.
You're human.
I think it's good to practice turning it on and off when you need it and stuff, and it's such a valuable thing to be able to do. It's so easy to let it go too far at certain times, though. Like every now and then you go, oh no. For a second, I timed it wrong, and I was overly confident in the wrong moment.
Oh, you're
Let's
talking
keep
about like
that in
peeing,
check.
right?
Yeah, with peeing. Yeah, fuck it. I'm in the living room. I'll pee where I want.
Yeah,
When you're like out and about.
What are you talking about?
Guys
Just
can pee
being
on the
out about
street.
it. You can pee
yeah.
wherever.
Why? I do like to pee.
Yeah, he did that right after I told him I liked him. when we-
Yeah, we were at.
just right there immediately on the
Yeah,
spot.
no, for well, almost. We were at Chris
Go
and
ahead.
Tammy's wedding. Chris True and Tammy Nelson.
Wait, you told him that you liked him?
Oh yeah, I was wasted. Alex Berry told me that I should do it.
You
Second
weren't
Alex
wasted.
Berry reference.
Hey,
Right?
So
hey.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, okay, tell your story because then I'm going to tell hilariously because I'm like, I was there when these two got together, so that's why I
So
was
yeah,
You weren't wasted though. You had enough alcohol in you because you don't drink a ton to feel like more confident. But you
yeah.
weren't
I mean, I wasn't wasted like falling down. I remember it, but I
Yeah.
was pretty drunk. Well, we were all pretty drunk. At
We
that
were all
Yeah,
pretty
that was
drunk at
pretty
that.
wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there wasn't a ton of food, but there was a ton of booze. So it was New Orleans. But yeah, so
we all shared a bite of a sandwich,
and then
and
we're
then
like,
that was
we're
it.
good.
It was the best of times. It was a few years ago.
But yeah, so I pulled him aside, told him I liked him. He was like, "Oh well, I don't fully remember what you said. It was something about like you don't
I think
want
I
to."
told you. I think I like bought some time for a minute. Just like talking about
TNM, because he didn't want to risk
I
TNM.
also though.
And then he went behind a. He goes, "Hold on." He goes behind a bush. He
This is
starts
key.
peeing, and then he continues to talk to me. Leans back, continues as he's peeing, and I accepted it.
to this behavior. To this day. What is
Like
the
a normal
problem?
woman would go, red flag, I wait. I'm still riding
White
this train,
flag.
baby.
Yeah. For
my
for
God.
me, I think like obviously that's proof that we were clearly already friends
Yeah.
before we get together, which I think is cool. But I think it's also the kind of thing where I think when I was dating before you, which never happened.
Yeah, those women don't
Uh,
exist. They're
But
all dead.
I think I would meet somebody and then I'd kind of like, I don't know, I was just really judgmental with them. Like if somebody wasn't right by like, if they weren't a clear match pretty early on and I really liked them, was interested in them, it didn't matter how like attractive they were or whatever. Like it was like, no, just not worth my time. Not a good, not into it. And so I think it had to be somebody like you that was going to sneak in there.
It was ugly.
Yeah.
No, because he said hot girls. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
Yeah.
not.
You really hobbled up. You really sidled into me.
Hey, Rob, I like you. You're peeing, I'm okay with it. I eat pee.
I freeze the pee. I make it in ice cubes. I put it in a glass of what? Iced pea.
Oh my god.
It's a double B cocktail.
Unsweetened.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that's really putting it out there, I guess, right away.
Okay, well then, was that, I wonder when this was. Okay, all I remember is and I think it was Rob.
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's really upsetting.
Amy's like, I was near the peeing bush all night. I didn't see
I had
any
passed
sort
out
of...
in that bush. I want to wreck a moment.
I recall having a road trip to New Orleans where we were talking about how you liked Ariel.
Well,
if this was someone else, then I would like to know who.
I think that
Well,
might
I was like, I don't know, Ariel, we've been around for a long time now.
I think there were
We've been together
other
for a
people.
while.
I think there are other people that liked Ariel. I think you and I definitely had a conversation, but I think it's different than a time I'm thinking of right now, because we wouldn't have that conversation in front of certain people, and so it was a different car ride that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, okay.
But it might have been to New Orleans. Either way, yeah, we definitely talked about it.
Yeah, because it's so
Was
funny.
this before we dated, or
No,
this is after we?
before.
Yeah,
Oh.
because what's funny is you saying that you had a crush on him. I was like, oh, he liked you too.
Wait,
That's so funny.
you told her.
I think
Aw.
because I had talked with Amy about maybe it was after we had started kind of seeing each other, but I think I had talked to her about like the whole not wanting to mess around with people in the theater because blah blah blah. TNM's so special, you know. But it's also the most fun is fucking around with people you shouldn't at the theater. That's the most fun thing you can do.
Fuck everyone.
So
It's funny
here-
because I'm almost
here
more
we are, though.
disappointed I only knocked one out, before I got married. I was like, I only did it once at the theater.
Marriages are a fluid relationship.
Yeah, right.
How long had you guys known each other before you guys
I
started?
think like 6 months.
Yeah, but we didn't really. Around Fun Fest. I think that was.
That brings people together.
It really does.
He did. I remember I saw his ex-girlfriend, who I didn't know was his ex-girlfriend at the time, come up to him at Fun. This was before we were dating. And I remember in my head, because she was really like skinny, and being like, "Oh, great, he likes really thin girls," and blah blah blah, like that's not me. And I didn't know I was doing this, but Rob, right after she left, this was before we were dating. He comes up and he goes, you were giving her just the worst
You
face.
and Megan, yeah.
Yeah, well, of course
you
Megan,
and
because
used to-
Megan was on my
used
side.
to go around like.
Megan was hating with me.
You ever see the cartoon with like it's one dog and there's the size analogy is not going to work.
Killing
here.
Megan
the
like
Little
almost
dogs pounce around there.
Little bugs.
Megan and Ariel used to like kind of like on purpose. I'm not saying like this was their natural thing. Like intentionally be like those dogs. It's such a clear metaphor to me, or analogy, that I'm not even worried about calling them dogs.
We
situation.
both would probably enjoy being
You
dogs.
both would like literally jump at me and, and it turned out it was pretty endearing because
Look at us now.
that was a special fun
Yeah,
fest,
didn't we
you know,
each
fun.
pretend like somehow you were our boyfriend or something? Like that
Yeah,
was like an
yeah.
ongoing joke.
And I was fine with that. You were
Yeah,
both
in reality I was like,
sweet.
I'm real.
Yeah. It's funny the way you talk to yourself.
Yeah, I'm always a troll.
Yeah, you're like...
Like that's my inner dialogue. Just, Ariel.
Wario.
Yeah, Wario.
I love that it's a voice.
Is this going to be anything to anybody? Us talking about our relationship?
Yeah, why not?
No, I think so. I
actually asked you guys to come on together because you guys being a couple, I feel like affects and matters in the like way that you're both pursuing this kind of art thing.
Yeah.
You know, we've had best friends on. We had Roy and Red, and we had Nathaniel and Zach, and they're there because they're younger, and so their partner is their best friend in their age group. But at this point, you guys are a little bit older and a couple, and both pursuing this career, and it's interesting to me, how it affects everybody differently, what they're doing, how they're, taking care of themselves and each other during the course of it. Because, we're talking about this room, the fact that we have this room means that my husband and I can't do certain things. Or sometimes we have to take an extra gig so we can pay to continue to have this.
Yeah.
Because this is something that we want, and so part of our lifestyle means
Which almost
doing
makes
that.
it more special, too, because you're sacrificing for it, so it's
Sacrificing
like
together.
it feels even more like a special place.
Yeah, but that's the journey of the whole